Hey everyone, welcome to Paintivity. It's my turn to welcome you to the page. My name's Erin, and I'll do my best to film just kind of random stuff, do-it-yourself stuff, creative stuff, just kind of whatever comes out. Today I'm actually going to show you the new set of brush markers that I got and follow that up with just what I think they're good for, what they're not so good for, where I got them, the full spiel, I guess. So here is my Barnes& and Noble set of markers. I had never considered getting markers from them before, and I was walking around. They've got that whole coloring book section up now, which is just a huge deal to everyone, and it's fun. You can color, focus, just do your own thing, and I work overnights, and sometimes it's slow, so I just go with it and said, hey, there's some markers. Let's just give them a shot because I've never used the brush markers before. So it's a set of 12 rainbow markers, just kind of plain, for about $10. And usually they set them right next to the books, or you can find them in the back of Barnes & Noble with the hobby kits and other journals and stuff like that. So this is what they look like right here, and you can tell each one is lined at the bottom with the colors, and they're technically good for invitations, signs, watercolor, I guess, if you're painting with a pen. Definitely some calligraphy if you're into that. And so far, one of my complaints about this was when I opened some of the markers, they actually bubbled. It seems to me like maybe the ink was coming out, but nothing exploded. And I went ahead and used them anyway. And I decided to do the coloring with them, and the ink was it just came right on out of the pen. It didn't bleed together, which is a good part for this pen, but it was just too much ink all at once, and all the markers were like that. The only other thing that I didn't like so much is when I go to pick up a pink marker, I'm looking for pink. I'm not looking for orange. I'm not looking for any other color. I'm specifically looking for what is in the package, and I feel like these colors are a little bit misled, even though they're supposed to be your standard rainbow colors. Other people have said that there's not enough ink in them, so it's a short-term use before they just get used up and have to be thrown away. They're definitely good for small line work. There's a wide range of line width as you use the markers, further. I'm sure you can do huge projects with this, but I started small. Um, the color doesn't bleed. It's acceptable for any type of coloring, so kids, coloring books, just anything you want to add some color to. And drawing and writing is definitely a plus to this, but you do need a bit of a light touch. That's one of the other problems. I went too heavy on my book and just there was stuff everywhere. But that's the part of trying to figure it all out. And I don't know. There's a few complaints that I looked up when I decided to get into this further. Um, I guess there's just not an even field of coloring. You can see the lines that you make. So, for example, if you start your pen at the top of the page, draw a line straight down, and then keep continuing that pattern, when it dries, you can see every single mark that you made. They're not really meant for blending together, and that can be a problem, especially if you're trying to get some even tone in there. I haven't mixed these markers yet to try and get anything else going. I just don't think I'd want to with this. They don't bleed through the page, but the ink is super heavy and tends to take a while to dry. These pens are actually imported, and doesn't really say. I think it's the Rikota brand, and I find it kind of humorous that there's actually bubbles on the markers, and my markers didn't shift, didn't come out. They have a nice case where it holds each and every pen, so that's really nice for traveling. Or you could put something inside the case, just something small. But I still can't figure out why the ink decided to just jump on out. Um, so that could be a downside. But for the price, they're okay, and I'm gonna keep using them and see how long that they're gonna take before they really do run out, and then go from there, because the line of Barnes& Noble products has also another set of brush markers. They've also got their colored pencils, metallic pencils, kind of just every basic thing you would need. But they do actually have some fine tip pens and other things. I prefer Prismacolor and the double-ended brush markers, but these are not the high-end ones, and that's okay. I'm just trying them for now, and then later maybe move my stuff up until, whenever I want to get to that level. But for right now, I'm just doodling. When I do just basic drawing and outlining, I'm looking for shadows and, trying to fill in my piece with, some texture. And I'm finding that these markers would not be for that. Basic coloring pages is where I would put them, but I'm not actually sure I could draw something with them unless I did it stage by stage. And then even I'm not going to get much texture. It's just going to come out like a cartoon picture. And that can be kind of a big deal. So I'll see what I can do with them. I don't know if I can do any mixed media projects with this, but I'll certainly try and see if they can be worked onto some acrylic works or just anything really. But so far, all I'm getting is coloring and basic writing. The tips are super um, sensitive, I guess. I mean, you push down too hard and there's ink everywhere, or you've got a huge line. Um, you barely touch the paper and you still got a fine line. Either way, you have to be very careful with where you're going to use these. And, but still a good product. I would definitely recommend them for, maybe younger kids to try out with these new coloring books and everything. Um, just kind of use your judgment, I guess, and see what comes of it, I suppose. So far, so good right now, and maybe later, if I find anything else out, I'll definitely bring them back up, and maybe by then I'll have had a chance to get more in the collection. But so far, that's it. I mean, I do expect the tips of the pens to get a little fuzzy, and they didn't. They sort of came out of the package that way. I mean, you expect that from a brush marker, but the more that you use them, the fuzzier they get. They tend to just kind of puff out, and I have been told that if you just take a paper towel to them, you can pluck the excess off of the tip of the marker, which is fine, as long as you don't. As long as that doesn't happen too much, you should be okay. You might lose the consistency of the brush itself, but I think that'll be pretty good advice for now. And that is pretty much all I've got. So again, set of 12, $10. You get your basic colors, and come with a nice hard plastic case that does open. It's actually pretty darn sturdy, so you want to see them full. Here they are. And they tend to stay in place very well. And I hope you enjoyed this very small review. And if you consider it, let me know how it works for you. Leave me comments down below. You can catch me on Facebook at the Paintivity page. You can catch me on Twitter at Paintivity. Either way, I'm here. Hit me up, and I hope you enjoyed. See you guys.